Hey guys, this is Gary on my YouTube channel. Well, that's good 86. Coming to you today from my garage for episode 1 of Hot Boys Garage. So this is the first video in the series. I'm just planning on shooting a quick walk around video of my garage to show you guys what sort of equipment, tools, and toys I'm working with. I figured it'd be a pretty easy first video to do and I'd be less likely to screw a video like this up. I've just got a small 2-bay garage that's attached to my house. It's about 21 by 18, which works out to be roughly 380 square feet. So I've got a lot of junk crammed into a small space. Here we go. Starting off on the front right side of the garage, we got a Milwaukee Portaband saw that's currently mounted in a Swag off-road table. It's all sitting on a Harbor Freight grinder stand that's on casters with weights on the bottom. And it just kind of floats around the garage wherever I need it to be. Then in the corner, got another Harbor Freight special. It is a 12-ton shop press, also sitting on casters so I can move it around as needed. Beside that is probably the nicest machine in the garage and also the newest. It's a Precision Matthews PM30MV benchtop mill. It's powered by a 2 horsepower, 230 volt motor. It's got an X-axis power feed and a 3-axis digital readout. And all of that is sitting on a Husky workbench that you can get at Home Depot. Tucked away beside the mill are 3 machines, all on casters so I can wheel them around where needed. It's a Millermatic 211 MIG welder sitting on top of a Chicago Electric 40 amp plasma cutter. And beside that is a Lincoln Squarewave TIG 200 TIG/stick machine. Next is this guy. It's a really old Sebastian brand lathe. I think it's from the 1950s and it actually came off of a military aircraft carrier. It still has a US Air Force tag riveted onto it. And even though it's old and it looks kind of rough, it actually works really well and everything is still pretty tight on it. Behind the lathe is a window that I covered in pegboard. I stuck some lathe tooling here for quick access. Also got some clamps and miscellaneous tooling up here. On down the line is an older Craftsman drill press. I use a Dayton 3-way vise on it. I really like this vise. You can get those things for about $100 on eBay. Over here in the corner are a couple of shelves full of stuff. Nothing all that interesting really, except for this particular shelf here. It's got a few ATV specific engine teardown tools, cam to green kit, blind bearing puller, leak down tester, stuff like that. And then hanging over in the corner are a couple of ATV wheelie bars and drag pipes. Back in the back, I got a kind of custom workbench that I made out of a storage rack that you can pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's. A friend of mine was able to get me this nice wood top cut to size, and it works out really nicely for a large workspace where I can have my bench grinder, another grinder that has a diamond wheel on it for a dedicated tungsten grinder, and a belt sander. Up above there's a bunch more parts, and on this left side is a pretty nifty rack system that I came up with to store aluminum round bar, chromoly tubing, and my TIG filler rod. Down below are some boxes full of quad parts and a mini fridge, because you gotta have beer. Coming on around to the left side of the garage, got another workbench, a lot of hardware bins, and of course you gotta have some Diana Dahlgren, Miss Supercross, and there's Nicki Minaj booty. Coming on down the left side of the garage, we got a Craftsman toolbox, a Craftsman air compressor, and another Husky workbench toolbox combo. And here in the corner is a custom remote starter that I made for my triquad. So now for what hangs out in the middle of the garage. This big table here I found on Craigslist a few years ago. It's 3 foot by 6 foot and it's actually really nice and sturdy. Right now it's got my TRX drag quad on it that is being reassembled. I just recently got the frame back from powder coating. Over beside this big table is a 4-drawer shop cart that I got from Harbor Freight for about 140 bucks. I use it as a weld cart and just to store kind of miscellaneous materials in it. And last but not least, this is my black 2005 Honda TRX 450R. I've owned this thing since 2006. I don't really ride it too much anymore, but this is where it lives. I'll probably do a dedicated video on this bike and the orange bike as well eventually. So that's pretty much it. It's a lot of junk packed into a small space. If any of this stuff interests you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you see something in a video that you'd like to hear more about, comment and let me know. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram at Hott Boys Racing, and on Facebook, Hott Boys Racing. I'll put links to both of those in the video description. Thanks for watching, guys.